up, everybody? Welcome to your Friday later afternoon than we had planned, but thanks for being flexible with us.
Woo!
Happy hour. I say that as if you guys haven't been able to just watch us live from like 10 a.m. this morning, so I don't know.
You probably were wondering where we were.
If we were really cheating you out of anything. But welcome to your weekly happy hour this month as we do our Patreon pledge drive.
How's it work, Joe?
It works. Thank you. If you subscribe at the $25 tier on Patreon, you get to do this once a month with us. You connect your Discord account with your Patreon account, and then you get to join our Discord server, and then you get to raise your hand and ask us a question. It's great. We love hanging out with you guys every month.
But because we love you for Pledge Month, we've been doing the broadcast for free.
Yeah, we have.
If you wanted to be a part of this right
everyone.
now, you can go to patreon.com/kindafunny. You could subscribe at the $25 or above level, and guess what? You could call in today.
Right now.
Sorry, you're in the middle of a drink there?
I was.
Do we have more beers around here? I
We
should get a
do
beer.
have more
We have
beers
a lot
in the
of beers.
fridge. We have
Would
the
you like a beer?
IPAs.
I'd like a beer. Don't you get it? I can.
Kegerator also has beer.
Oh.
I can get up and get you a
Kegerator
beer
has
before
beer.
you even
You
know.
want me to do it?
Yeah.
What kind of beer you want?
No, give me one of the. What do we got in the cans? What was the cans?
I think it's just the IPA from.
I'll have an
Oh,
IPA. Yeah.
No, Greg,
Maybe
before
right
he
there.
leaves, Mike, stay down for 1 second. I think
Sit
Andy
your
sent you
ass
this because I
down.
asked him
He
to.
did. Yeah.
But just all three of them with the soft water hair is just Mike's vibe.
Listen,
right
here's
now.
the thing about it. Don't make fun of Mike
Yeah.
for having hair like this. Period. All right?
Uh-huh.
Stop. We're not going to
We're
do
not
that
making
to
fun
him.
of
We're
him
not
for
going to
that?
bully him.
Not
for
today.
that.
Not
Is that like a
party
month? Do we have it
pooper.
scheduled for
Broccafade,
Monday?
we called it.
Or
What do we call it?
Broccafade.
The Broccafade.
Just push
What
it
if I
back a little.
rocked it more? What if I just rocked it?
I
What
don't-
if this was just me now?
You look like Tim when Tim's at his weirdest, which is that he has to wash his own hair because he doesn't like the people at Supercuts washing
Oh,
his hair. He doesn't trust
okay.
them to
He d-
wash his hair.
No,
That's
I
what
just don't
Greg
think he.
said.
I think he's trying to avoid people touching him. For Tim.
Sure.
You know?
That makes more sense. Yeah, that checks out.
I don't-
Man, I like having my hair
I-
washed. I'm gonna get it.
Oh,
in
yeah.
there.
Yeah.
Get in there.
For sure.
like a cat.
Mike, I like your hair the other way.
Up. Okay.
Yeah.
Good to know.
I think I don't. Bang's not a look for you.
I
don't
mean,
think.
we're just trying something new because next week I go to Call of Duty next.
Yeah.
Tune
Uh-huh.
in. And it's like,
You're
what
gonna be
do you,
skinhead for that.
what do you rock?
This is a public one.
I know. It's fine. I like it.
What do you rock at Call of Duty next? You
Dude,
know what
he
I mean?
mentioned a mohawk, and I said yes.
Yeah,
Yes,
me and that's what I was
absolutely.
talking like mohawk. What are we doing? We're just doing the normal fade, maybe a racing stripe on the side of my head.
Oh, you,
You
want
know,
to get
so anything,
wild with
anything's
it.
out there. Yeah.
Are you getting your
Anything
haircut today?
goes.
Yeah, haircut at 5 o'clock with Rob at the top of the hill. He's watching right now. What up, y'all?
Oh, so then it'll be a fun mystery to see what your hair looks like afterwards.
Yes, I go in every single time and say, do whatever you want. And Rob knows that it's like, well, he's on camera. We should keep it consistent. But he knows he has the keys to the kingdom. He can do anything.
Rob, I don't think he needs a moment.
And I'd sit there and I'd just be totally all right with it, you know?
I do know.
I want you to get a mohawk.
Agree.
Bad. I think it'd be
Agreed.
cool with ice.
Down bad. Mohawk.
Monfrere, are you alive and in
Coop.
here?
Monfrere.
I think
My
that's what it is.
brother-
I
It's
gotta
with
get
a
a haircut. Mike, you
PH.
talk me into getting a
So it
haircut.
like
Maybe
kind
I'll
of
get a
throws me
mohawk.
off a little bit.
Can you hear
Okay.
me?
Yeah, we hear you.
can.
We hear you.
Like, what do you think?
Hello, we hear you.
Okay, it's a little delayed. Can I mute you and still hear you guys?
Maybe. Yeah,
Maybe.
probably. Yeah, you can
Okay,
mute on
cool.
the thing. The one
What's
thing.
up? Hearing myself delayed is going to be very interesting, so I apologize.
I'm
That's
so
okay. Sorry about that.
Play through the pain.
Rub
Any
some
given
dirt on
Sunday.
it.
Wait, no, sorry. I
Yeah.
Kevin?
Oh,
that's
our
okay.
So I'm
audio, I
actually,
think, is
Cooper Fuqua.
suppressed.
Kevin's got something to say. Kevin says the audio is depressed. We need to make.
Suppressed. Joey, can you give us permission to have audio on? Because usually we send our audio over on Discord.
I don't know what you're asking.
Why don't you come out here, Kevin, and suppress the
Are
audio?
you
on
asking
our-
us to speak? Is that the thing?
Yeah, I think so. There it is. Okay,
Yeah.
so now he can hear us on Discord.
Now you hear us
Okay,
on
so
Discord.
mute the stream so you're
Now
not
mute
double.
the stream.
Please turn your radio down like they used to say.
Yeah,
on
right.
call-in.
Hey, remember that? We're
Yeah,
old. That
yeah,
used to be a
yeah.
thing.
So yeah, what's good, guys? Cooper Fuqua, Monfrere in the Twitch streams.
Hello.
Good to see you guys. I even see you guys all the time. Great content. I'm getting a little flustered. Anyways,
It's all good.
I want to start it off a little down, but I have a question really about failure.
Okay.
Really, it's just in my experience with friends and mentors in the various industries, discussing their failures and how they overcome them and learn from them has often been kind of a helpful thing, and in case you ever come up in those scenarios. So I was kind of wondering, with you guys are actually a good case study. What are some failures in your careers, relationships, personal goals, or even the simple user error in a game that taught you something that you've used later in life?
Or
Introspective. I like that.
yeah.
Yeah,
For
get-
me,
get deep.
failures that I've seen have a little bit like I've failed in multiple places in my life.
No.
Like across the board. The number one thing that I always think of is like failing. I've done a few jiu-jitsu tournaments and got my ass beat, and it wasn't necessarily what I learned there. Although you do very much learn, you can watch your tape back and be like, oh, okay, I need to work on this, work on that. It's less that and more the feeling you get when you get back onto the mat the next time and you, because you don't want to, right? You don't want to do it again. You go, I don't want to fail again. But then once you get back on and you go, I'll just try it one more time, it gets so much easier. And that's when I think you learn a lot about yourself. And that's when I think you get stronger. So I always sort of look at failure as like sort of a double-edged sword where obviously it hurts. And, people always say, there's no such thing as failure. You either win or you learn, right? But for me, it sucks. But it makes it makes it that much easier to go back there and try again if you can just kind of get through the failure. So I think it's important to look at that as sort of obviously it's a necessary evil, but then also just remember that there's no really one thing in your life that's that pivotal that you can't fuck it up a little bit.
Sure.
And then just do it again.
Yeah, I think it's all about at bats, right? Where it's
Yeah.
like you're gonna learn something from that failure, and that you go, oh, I don't want to do. You know what I mean? Like, I don't have a great answer of one that jumps out, but I think of all the times you do a show,
Yeah.
and you come
Yeah.
off and you're like, oof, I didn't get all of that, and I steamrolled through this, and I didn't say that point right, or I should have. Like, we're lucky that, of course, I get to do 4 more that day, probably. But you
Shake it off real
you do
quick.
hold it back in there of like for the next time around when you're in a similar situation. What do you want to do with that?
Yeah, I deal with that a lot with Greg and Tim, who I would go talk
Big
to
fat
after
constantly.
games content of like,
You
hey, I
wish.
just didn't feel like I hit that mark or I didn't, hit that point the way I wanted to. And, they always tell me, well, you got another opportunity and you could always clear it up at any other show. So that feels good when I fail on that kind of end. I think of like relationships, failing at that. I think that's the current thing that I've been dealing with for quite some time is like letting down someone else, having to figure out what's next by yourself. And that one's a tough one because nobody wants to fail in that aspect of life, right? And so the question is, where do you go from there? Because you don't, as much as we get at-bats here on the microphones, you don't get that many at-bats in a relationship, right? And so it is an interesting, different feeling of like, you learn a lot from that. And yeah, the pain sucks and you have these feelings for however long, but at least I can look back and go, okay, well, here's what I want out of that. This is what I've learned from that. Here's where I need to be better for the next time around.
Sure.
When that moment does happen, I feel like I'm a little bit better. But yeah, that failure feels a little bit different than failing and going, Tim and Greg, I really messed up today. It's kind of funny rigmarole. My bad, So.
Yeah. I think failing at a task is different than when you feel like you failed another person. There's that other connection. I know we've talked about this before, but you guys, we've talked about like the learning curve from the animated series.
Oh, for sure.
Being
Yeah,
is like
yeah, yeah.
a big one of just in terms
That was
of
an ongoing nightmare
working with-
failure.
I honestly, I think most of our failures are like that, though, right? I think you see that in the way, like, when we want to do a new show or a new idea. In the old days, it would be we would commit to it indefinitely, and that's when we moved to the seasonal stuff. Like, we're gonna do 8 episodes of something, and then we'll try Game Showdown right at the start is kind of feudy. That was just a tack on Patreon part for it, like being able to iterate and move rather than say it's January 5th and here's 7 new shows we're doing all the time. It was like, well, that was a bit much, and not the right way to do that.
Yeah.
Good question.
good question.
Hell yeah, guys.
Are you
Thanks
okay?
so
Have you
much,
failed
and-
recently? Are you struggling?
No. I mean,
Okay.
I have learned. I am in the industry of audio and have been for decades. So I've had many.
So you see us
many
fail all the
failures.
time.
I won't disagree with that, but you guys overcome it very well. And Kevin,
Good job,
Barrett are
Kevin.
Very good with their jobs, and if you guys ever need something, feel free to reach out. But I know that Kev's always on it, and Barrett is always there as a helping hand. So yeah.
Thanks, Coop.
And hey, Mike, love you, man. Love all the content you guys do. Thank you so
Thanks,
much.
Coop. You're the best, homie. You know that. Yeah, me and Nick failed recently at a Kind of Funny morning show where we didn't give the audio or video to anyone. We just reacted on our own.
No,
It's a
it's
really
fun.
good time.
It's fun that you're
It's the
lumping me in
Olympics one?
with that.
Yeah, you were
It's fun
part
that
of
you
it.
said we, because I thought we were showing it the whole time until Lady came and said, "Are you not just going to show these clips to people?" And I was like, "Are we not showing them to people?" And I was like, "I don't want to get claimed. I don't want to get claimed."
It's a learning curve. You know what I mean?
agree
Gotta
with
take
everything
shots.
we've said about Mike's
not
hair up
failure,
until
though.
this point.
Yeah.
And it's all been true. Right now, what he's given, especially in this jersey, is he looks like he's in the post interview from doing a motocross
Oh,
race.
yeah.
Oh,
Like,
took the helmet off.
motocross. That's
Yeah,
100% what it is. Thanks, Cooper.
Bye, guys. Thank you.
Bye.
Arturotron. You're up next.
Bartender.
Marturotron.
Oh, hola, ¿cómo estás?
Hello.
Bien.
No.
So actually, I have a question that is a good follow-up for Monfrere's question. But beforehand, I have a quick comment
You guys
for Nick.
eat shit all the time. What's it like to do that?
We're worried about you.
And afterwards, I have a quick personal question for Greg. Nick, I watched the Kind of Funny podcast this week, and I wanted to tell you there's a company called Free League. I think Free Liga in Swedish because they're a Swedish company.
Okay.
But they're making some of the best tabletop RPG products on the market right now.
Oh, cool.
And they have both a Blade Runner and an Alien RPG.
Oh,
And
interesting.
They call their systems cinematic role play,
Okay.
where it really feels like you're in the movie. For example, I played their first campaign with some friends for Alien, and it was basically Alien. Essentially, we were space truckers. Actually, I played a roughneck that was like the cargo guy.
Okay.
And what the other player that was playing the corporate guy, I called him Suit very derisively.
Okay.
And the rest
Yeah,
of the
you have
party like started doing that as well. There's also a system called Powered by the Apocalypse. That's kind of an open license scenario. It's very easy to pick up. But I love about it is that session 0, when all your players are creating characters, they get to participate in the world building, which is very, very cool to me.
Oh, interesting. Okay.
But yeah, just some thoughts for you if you guys ever do some like.
Is it Free
Crap.
League? Free
Yeah, I was gonna
League?
say, can you message us on Discord with that? I don't know if they
Yeah,
have access.
Yeah,
to
you
it.
can
or
put it in the
I can-
chat.
Yeah, can
I think
you
I
throw-
have it here.
Throw all that in the chat that you just said because that's rad.
Free-
Chat, or I can do Twitter.
FreeLeaguePublishing.com?
Either way.
Yeah.
Got
That's
it.
the main one, and the other one is Powered by the Apocalypse. But my full question for the group is kind of following up on Monfair was asking. I remember when I was a kid, a lot of people, especially adults, would be like very insulting when they found out you played video games, like it was a waste of time, and like you'd always have to defend yourself. Like a good one is like, video games teach you really good eye-hand coordination. But honestly, like especially like playing a lot of video game RPGs, they helped a lot with my reading comprehension,
Oh, interesting.
my critical thinking skills, my problem and puzzle solving skills. Multiplayer games like first person shooters and MMOs really teach you a lot of team building. So my question to you guys is there a video game that stands out in your mind that taught you a very important life lesson or something that helped you grow as a person?
You know exactly where this is going.
I got one.
I talk about like playing Last of Us Part 2. That ending broke me. Like I ended up like in the fetal position of my kitchen, just crying and processing all this grief and trauma. And then I had to play like ironically D&D afterwards, and like my character went through some emotional stuff because I was going through some emotional stuff. So are there any video games that have either taught you a life lesson or have helped you grow as a person?
Mike.
Yeah, I mean, I think of Call of Duty and
Yeah.
the Warzone.
Yeah.
The team building aspect of that, the working together and solving problems on the fly is so much fun for me. I really have grown as a human being and I think as a leader because of Call of Duty, right? It allows
agree.
me to really step out of what normally would be Mike's kind of quiet side and really have fun with my friends. We can fail, we can learn. You can shot call and kind of take control of the team and lead. It's a really fun time. I know, Nick, you can back me up on this and talk about that, but like, yeah, I think Call of Duty for me really has done something in my life that has changed me for sure.
I would agree. I think that for me, it's a big lesson learned of like being able to rely on two other people, specifically when we're playing like ranked stuff like that, and understand like, hey, sometimes you have to be a team player. Sometimes you have to go a little, it's never a good idea to go cavalier, but then also coming back into that, really just sort of being aware of your friend's emotional states. And if one of them
Yes.
is like, hey, don't go through the door, and it's
Yes,
yeah, and you go through the door and then he doesn't talk to you for a
You
week.
learned how to apologize because
emotional
of Call
Not
of
intelligence.
only
Duty.
that, but like
Yeah.
just realizing that like, when you're all sort of in, if you hit that moment where you go, okay, I'm just gonna screw around right now, but it's still important to your other two friends. Like maybe that's when you go, hey guys, let's stop playing, or let's bow out, or let's have a quick break or something like that. Like because with Call of Duty, you always have that moment where you're locked in. And it takes 30 minutes to get locked in, and then you have a good 20-minute window, and then there's the fast decline.
Yeah.
And just understanding that about yourself and about like, hey, it's okay to just go to bed right now. Hey, it's okay to tell your buddies like, hey, I can't. this is enough. I can't do this anymore. And I think
Yeah,
that's
the
important.
self-control and like the feeling of letting down another, right? Like playing as a team, we're all in this together. And when you disappoint the other person, you feel that, right? We might be laughing and it might be 9:30 at night
Right.
and it could be shenanigans, but you do feel let down of like, oh man, like I let those guys down. We could have done better there. And I think also having the emotional maturity to say, yo, it's 11:30 at night and I'm tired. We're not. This isn't going to be my best, you know.
But I think the other aspect of the game that I love is just the strategy of it. I think was something that I had never really encountered before, which is that you don't have to be the 3 best players on the map.
Yeah.
You just have to have a good strategy and be locked in as a team. You can win. Like we've won games where it's like you have 2 kills, I have 1 kill, and like Chris had like 3 kills or something like that, right? And then you've got other guys that have gotten 10 kills in the map, but they're not playing as a squad together. They're not gelled. They don't have that strategy, that good rotation. And that I think is a lesson that you literally can take with you to anything you do in life. That's like that you have other people with, right? You have to understand how the dynamics of how the group works, what you're strong at, what you're not strong at. And hey, for me, like I take a leading role in a lot of the things that I do outside of Kind of Funny. And even some of the things I do inside are Kind of Funny. Like I'll lead some of these initiatives like podcasting, things like that. But it's fun for me to be like, you know what, Mike's just better at this. And I get to kind of be the B squad. I get to kind of be the secondary utility guy that goes around and does the things. It's fun for me.
Yeah, really cool. I love the team building, and I'm looking forward to when Ben finally gets of age so we can do youth sports.
2 more
because
years.
I am so excited to become Coach Mike. I
He
cannot
needs you.
wait to help, grow a team and, encourage these kids to be their very best while teaching them life lessons. And it's going to be really cool. I can't wait.
Can't wait for him not to show up to 7 out of 8 practices. You know what I mean? Give these kids hopes up.
Sorry,
and
I fell
never
asleep
show
in my
up.
car.
Sorry, Slappies. I didn't want to come here this week.
Yeah, when I think about games that have taught me things, I definitely think about Overcooked.
Oh.
In terms of communication and conflict and it's kind of similar
Conflict
to
resolution.
even like just management of like who's in charge of the squad, which is like kind of similar to what you're talking about, having someone direct, not getting too frustrated with each other. That's something that I have to learn all the time. And very similar, also Mario Party. But that's mostly just me.
What have we learned from
regulating.
Mario? What have we learned
I
from
just
Mario
learned that I
Party,
don't play
Joey?
anymore.
Joey doesn't play it, and that's an
Don't
important
play
lesson.
it.
Sometimes
Yeah.
you don't have to
Learn
engage.
valuable
You
lessons.
don't have to engage the trolls.
Yeah.
I don't know who the troll is in this situation, but
So hard.
You all had
to-
very insightful answers. I don't feel like I have one. And but most of my stories are told, so maybe I'm just missing it. You know what I mean? In terms of what I've learned from
Yeah.
a video game.
Interesting. I think of like Roller Coaster Tycoon and like the opportunities to have these campaigns and like learn a little bit about business through that. I wish I took more away from that. Or I'm currently playing Fields of
Mystria.
Mysteria.
So good.
And I turn it on and it's just nothing but dialogue bubbles. And I
You
go,
hate that
nope,
about
I
it.
don't
Skip,
want
skip,
any
skip.
of this. And I just skip. And it's like, oh man. And so, yeah, there's a piece of me where it's like, man, I wish I could have taken more out of some of the games. When you talk about reading comprehension, like wanting to buckle in and just read some of this. I don't want any of that in games, which is odd.
Yeah, I'm a chronic skipper of all narrative things, so
Awful.
I don't know if I can do that either.
Awful
Sorry.
people
I
being
think you're in
awful
good company.
people.
especially when there's like side quests. You're like, let me tell you about this letter I wrote my son. I'm like,
I don't
yeah,
care.
give me the gun. Whatever. What am I getting? Give me the can. What do I need?
Thank you, Arturotron.
Very cool. I have one quick
Oh, that's right.
question for one Greg Miller,
Yeah.
if it's allowed. Greg, was August 3rd your personal 9/11?
Jesus Christ.
Wow.
What was August?
What even
3rd?
happened August 3rd? I was I on vacation. I was about to be on vacation. What
that
happened?
was the hack. That was
Oh,
the
the
hack.
hack.
Oh,
Oh no, I took the hacking completely in stride. It was funny how quickly it turned because it was Kevin's fucking baby shower, of course.
yeah.
Yeah.
So God forbid.
We're
and
all
then
in the
I was
kitchen.
at home. I texted the founders part of the Slack a question. I'm like, before I go to vacation, just a simple question. Nick responded, and then I was like getting ready for dinner with Ben and Jen, and I saw Tim respond, and I looked down to see what Tim's response was. And it was just, "We've been hacked. We're on it." And I was like, Jen, I don't think I'm having dinner with you. Like, I don't know. It seems like they're on it. And then Tim called me and I was like, I got off the phone to Jen. I'm like, all right, he's still at the baby shower and I'm pretty sure he's drunk. So I'm going to take point on talking to Roger about what's going on.
That was one of those things that could have been a lot more stressful, but thankfully, because we have such an incredible community that also has a ridiculous sense of humor, like people, Andy was streaming at the time and people were talking there, and then obviously the hackers had like shut down. It was like emotes only, so people were subscribing to put in there. I was like, that's awesome. Like people were legitimately paying money so that they could help save our channel,
I had
which
like
is pretty rad.
5,000 live viewers too. I was like, what the fuck?
I know. I'm like, what do we got? Like, maybe we should be hopping NFTs from now on. Did anyone buy that NFT? I hope they did.
Nick, to your point, I made that 9/11 joke on Andy's stream, and another kind of funny best friend commented with Arturotron, a second Twitch chat has been hacked.
Awesome. I was trying to hack Andy's by just blaming the whole thing on Mike.
Yeah.
Well,
I love it.
Thanks
was
so
like-
much, guys. Love y'all. Happy weekends.
Love you
Thank
too.
you. Bye.
My joke was that somebody called Mike and was like, yes, Mike. Hello, my friend. I was like, hey, I know that voice, Slappy. I know that voice. Let me meet you in the park at 2
gonna hit
o'clock in
me
the morning.
again.
Is that my friend Putin? Are you Putin? What's
yeah,
the
You need
yeah.
the password?
Jeez. Shay Braven, what's up?
Hey, can you hear me?
We sure can. You
can.
sound great.
Okay, cool. Two questions. A quick one for Nick. Did you ever end up getting the rights for Waiting for the Punchline?
You know, I have.
Oh.
I have to check on that. Thank you for reminding me. I have a version of it that I'm waiting to upload, and I don't even know who to reach out to for the rights.
Fucking
anymore.
go.
I might
Put it
just
up.
grip it and rip it and post it. You know,
Yeah.
Tim's always got the plan of some sort. I'm sure he's gonna do something.
The
with it,
cyanide
but-
capsule in his teeth.
Yeah.
His plan.
But thank you for. I literally was just looking at that on my desktop today, so thank you for reminding me to do that. I'll probably just upload it and let it go. But
Oh, you do your personal channel or our channel?
no, do it our channel.
You don't put it up with the Doritos commercials?
I mean, I could, and that would be hilarious. It's just 3 30-second long commercials and then an hour and a half long documentary. No, I'd love to put that up because I get questions to this day of people being like, "Hey, whatever happened to that thing?" And I was like, "Well, you know, we put it behind a paywall on Rooster Teeth, and then Warner Brothers killed them, so that was cool."
Zasloff was like, we can't
The
let this one
Zaz.
out.
So yeah, good call. I'll earmark that.
And then, yeah, the main question. So for about 3 weeks now, the people that live in the middle of the Venn diagram, that is the Kinda Funny Best Friends and the H3 Fupa Troopers,
Okay.
have been wondering, Greg, how the hell did you end up on Jimmy Lee's show?
I have no context for this.
Is it, no, you're not aware of this
No.
or whatever? Explain who Jimmy Lee is.
Jimmy Lee is a dentist / comedian in New Jersey.
Okay.
Somehow
I
I have
love
more
shows up.
questions.
That shows up on the H3, well, has shown up on the H3 podcast many times. He's kind of on the outs with them right now.
Oh,
but
really?
He has a, yeah.
Is Jimmy Lee the Jersey
He's a bit
Outlaw?
controversial.
This is the Jersey Outlaw. Yeah, exactly.
And I watch H3 and I have no idea who
And I was
this
going to
guy is.
say, for somebody else, maybe Greg, explain what H3 is.
Oh, do you not know?
Oh, H3 is
I kind of. I recognize the guy, but I
is
don't know what it is.
Ethan Klein and
Gila.
Gila Klein's podcast that has been going for
A long
like a
time.
decade.
Forever.
now.
Yeah, it's very.
Again,
it's
I
a big
recognize
podcast.
one of the guys, so like I know that or
I
whatever.
imagine
was
it's probably
H, wasn't
Ethan.
it?
So this is
Yeah, they shortened it.
That's smart.
the answer to your question is both not exciting and exciting all at once. But
Okay.
as you all know, Kinda Funny best friends are everywhere, and so it's always awesome to run into a best friend who's doing something cool and then wants to work with us and yada yada yada. And so there's a Kinda Funny best friend who's working with Jimmy Lee on starting the Jersey Outlaw podcast YouTube show thing they were doing or whatever. And so he hit me up and he's like, "Hey, big fan. We're doing this. I think you'd be a great fit because I want him to ask you stupid video game stuff because he doesn't know anything."
Mm-hmm.
And I did a quick cursory Google search and I was like, doesn't seem like a horrible person. This Jimmy Lee.
Nice.
I
Yeah.
mean, he's a comedian. You know how they are.
Hey,
Nick,
man,
so-
that gives us free
Comedian
license to
types.
say whatever we want to
any
say.
second he can turn on me. But he seemed like a really nice guy. And so yeah, so I just popped in and did it. And it was all of, 5-10 minutes out here with my phone, and because every other thing was recording in the office.
Yeah.
And then I fired it off and forgot all about it. And then one day there was this like, what the fuck? Greg's on this because he's still. I don't know if he's on. You say he's on the outs with him. I don't know how recent that is because they were still watching the Jersey Outlaw show or whatever when it was.
Well,
posted.
getting on the outs with Ethan Klein, that doesn't mean that
Like a rite of passage.
you're not going to show up in content anymore.
Mm-hmm.
It's just, how are you going to show up in the content? Is
Gotcha.
it going to be
Does
a
he just-
positive
Oh,
thing
so
or a
it's
negative
just-
He
thing?
roasts people he doesn't like. Is that how that works? Because we do that all the time.
Yeah.
Yeah, we love.
In a way, yeah.
Fucking Lucy James. Yeah, no. So it's a super fun crossover again, a Venn diagram of this guy was working over there and loved us and was looking to put people on the show to stretch Jimmy, I guess, and so I was one of them.
Fun.
so funny.
Cool.
Indeed.
Now I have to do some searching to find this clip now. Awesome.
Yeah, it was like 3 weeks ago. It was like right when Greg went on vacation. So it was like, then, and if you check the subreddit from them, there was a thread about it.
So funny. Love it. Thanks, Shay Braven.
Thank you.
Thank you.
A reminder for that dang documentary. I want to get that live. I don't know
Wanna
if Tim
get
has
it up?
something fun special planned for it.
We probably should have something fun. So I'll
Yeah.
stop you right there. You should at least wait till Monday to bounce
Yeah,
it
I'll
off the
talk to
table
Tim.
before you say publish.
Talk to Tim. And we are coming up on our 10-year
He's excited.
anniversary.
Yeah,
maybe we should
maybe.
do something with that.
Put it
Yeah,
on a VHS.
If we're gonna risk getting sued by Warner Brothers, it's gotta be a big deal.
exactly.
we know Jim Lee. We could ask him.
Yeah,
go
that's
for
actually
it.
true. Actually,
What's the worst that they can do?
That's right.
Hi, Ignacio. What's
Ignacio!
up?
Ignacio!
Oh!
Hey,
Are you in
how's
Tucson?
it going?
How was
Yes,
Tucson?
I am.
Nice.
He's
How
in
hot is it?
Tucson.
I'm gonna guess
Oh
115.
man, it's
I think
hot.
it's 112.
I don't know what temperatures are. You're made up.
Oh, you have
temperature numbers.
Celsius. I'm
It's
sorry.
it's
Yeah.
cooling
It's probably
down.
110 degrees, 112 degrees Fahrenheit for you out there.
Man, that campus has got to be bumping tonight, Ignacio. It's Friday night. School is back. You can hear
School's not
the
back.
gridiron calling.
School's
soon.
not back, he says.
What do you mean? I thought everybody was coming back, Ignacio.
No,
You're there.
September.
Monday.
Yeah,
Monday,
okay,
'cause it's
they're
dark.
back.
Oh,
They're
this
back.
is move-in
But
weekend.
the
It
kids
is.
are there.
Yeah.
The kids are there,
This
ready to
campus
party.
is
What are we
bumping.
doing tonight,
It's only
Ignacio? Where are we
94.
going?
Only
Where are we
94.
going? I'm going
Only 94.
from my
It's 7
bed to the
o'clock.
bathroom to the computer.
Okay, fair enough.
Okay.
Ignacio.
Or what if I tempt you?
Well,
with
don't forget World of
adventure?
Warcraft War with Zin. That's what
Oh,
he's doing.
shucks. Maybe you should get on some WoW. I would say, Ignacio, you should put on some shorts and a t-shirt, some nice running shoes, and I want you to walk down the block, go see all the kids on the campus having some fun, and then you walk back. It's just a nice 30-minute, hour-long little hangout.
Mike, I
94.
have been at the campus. People are just starting to come in. I think next week.
You got to give him a week.
Sunday, there's an activity.
It's
so
the
I'm
first
gonna
Friday.
Go to
You
do
get
that.
your butt out there.
This is
Next
prime
Friday's the
time.
first.
I'm looking here. I Googled. I said, "Where do you go?" The Surly Wench Pub is the first one that popped up.
Shucks, man,
I don't
that's
see. I don't know
crazy.
Tucson, but I've been to Scottsdale.
Yeah.
Where like what is it? What's that freaking university in Scottsdale? University of Arizona, right? Is in
Arizona State, probably.
Arizona
yeah,
State.
'cause
And I'll
Tucson's
tell you
on
what,
there.
man, they've got that whole area on the campus. I'm just like, I would have gotten fucking nothing done.
Man.
It is nothing but outdoor bars
Yep.
and good-looking people.
Pools. It's gonna be a lot of pool
Oh,
parties,
man.
Ignacio.
A lot
Yeah,
of
you better
pool
get
parties.
Well, he's
Next week, I'm gonna go do that just for you, Mike.
I love that.
Perfect.
And also go to a football game. Make sure you go to a football game.
Yeah,
With the
I'm
Sun
gonna
Devils?
try.
No,
I'm
he's
gonna
at the
try.
Wildcats, so
Wildcats,
he's in Tucson.
okay.
Yep.
Yeah.
U of A's Sun Devils.
He's got a really good basketball team. So come like late fall, early winter,
That's gonna
he's
be
going to
fun.
have a great time at the basketball stadium.
basketball. College basketball
not so
games are
much.
really fun. Really fun.
They are.
I am.
Ignacio, come on, have a good time.
Mike, I keep telling you, you just have to come here and accompany me for my first college football game.
If me and Greg could have landed that EA sponsorship where they send us to tailgate at all the biggest national football games,
Oh, that would've been
we
so
would have been
fun.
on it.
That would have been wild. Would've been
I mean,
wild.
again, before Tim gets back, we can just green light it.
It's like, oh, we're already
Mike
going.
and Greg, we go
See,
to
this is
just
why we,
party
this is
with
why we need
Ignacio.
Tim. If we give it to Mike and Greg, we're gonna end up paying EA to go do these things.
We're so sorry about this.
Hey, you won't get another opportunity like this.
Ignacio, what you do is you keep your ear to the ground out there. You look around. You find some Arizona institutions that would be down to
Yeah.
fund us coming out there. We can do a meet and greet at the bar.
We'll do a meet
Maybe
and greet
the
at the
Surly
bar.
Wench.
Yep. Find the,
Yeah, but
ask
you
the
know
Shir-
what?
Shirley Wench.
Be our boots on the ground. Get your ass over to the Shirley Wench.
You got nothing else going on. You say it's dead. Go do it,
Go
Ignacio.
do it.
What do you got for us this week?
See, I tried to think of a question. The only thing that I can think of is that, okay, so right now I'm here on my own. I'm trying to depend the least that I can from my parents. I'm working as a research assistant. I have my own apartment. And rent itself is already costing me like half of what I'm receiving as a payment.
Welcome to America.
So, yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know. My only question that I have is, what are you guys' recommendation for saving money? I mean,
Well, I mean, rent
Your-
is a
your
huge
work
expense for
coaches
you,
wants to-
obviously, right? And I don't know how you're feeling about it, but you know, when I was in college, I had like 5 roommates. So I don't know if that's something that you want to do there, or if you've got extra space, you might sublet one of the rooms. That's always a good
nope,
idea.
it's a studio.
Okay, it's
Yeah,
a
nice
studio. So
studio.
you might. I mean, after
Still
the first. What's that?
Still good. Hammocks.
Yeah, fair enough.
Hammocks
Kevin's
is
a
lit.
huge advocate of bunk beds. I would say, yeah, if you got, you know, when you get your bearing, if you get your footing, and you're finding like, hey, the studio is maybe, you know, you want more space or something, you could always, and you meet other people, you could always share a house or share. Like I shared a house in college in Irvine. It was so fun because we had a backyard and all that stuff, and it ended up being cheaper than if I had got my own studio because I just was like, I'll take the smaller room. I don't care. And we were all dorks. So we had a master bedroom. I had the smallest bedroom, and then there was a third one that my buddy Ryan was in. And then all of us put our computers in the living room.
Nice.
Because we're like, we don't need or the dining room. So we don't need a dining room table. And my buddy Ryan was like, I'll pay extra if my desk can be right near the door, because he was playing World of Warcraft and he didn't want to get up to get the pizza.
Yeah.
He would just open the
Smart.
front door
I
and
love
just
that.
just take the pizza and put it on his
amazing.
desk. And I was like, that's what you got to do when you're in college. Just be a little inventive.
For me, not so much college, but especially, don't worry about that. We're going to get to that in a second. When I got out here for IGN and realized I was making no fucking money, and
When you lived
it's San Francisco.
When you live in that
and-
brand new tower.
No. That was, I still didn't have money, but this is like when I first got here and I was like, oh
Okay.
shit, I'm dying. Excel spreadsheet, all the expenses,
Yeah.
what's coming in, how much I wanted to save, and then it gets down to, I believe it was I had $100 or $125 every paycheck. That was like free.
That's
Or
fun
it had to
money.
be groceries or whatever it was.
Yeah.
But it was like, I would go and I would withdraw that money and I would put it in my pocket. And that way I always was like, okay,
Cash only.
I
Looking
wasn't
at it.
fucking around with a credit card and building
Smart.
up debt.
Yeah.
And da-da-da.
Smart.
Then what I did that fucked up was I had the American Express card from IGN, which
Oh.
wasn't attached to our credit, if you remember. It was attached to our names. And I would forget to expense. And so then I would get a bill from American Express for like, you owe $13,000.
Yeah.
I'd beg Pear to push through this thing quicker or whatever. Like, I'm putting all the expenses in. I need it right now.
Oh God, that was the worst.
American Express called me once. They were
I
just
think
like,
it
"You're
actually,
late."
I think it actually was tied to your credit.
It wasn't.
Are you sure?
1,000%.
Oh, okay. 'Cause I remember
1,000%.
there. That was one of the things that I think when they got off of it. That's right. Because
When they got off of it, it was our personal cards.
personal cards, and that's when I
was
started building crazy.
putting it in
credit.
immediately
Yeah.
and pay off the cards immediately.
That was a much better system.
Can I encourage you for a part-time job, maybe Fridays and Saturday nights
Surly
at
Wench.
the Surly
Like
Wench?
again.
Be a bar back. That's a great way to get your foot in the door. You're going to meet a lot of people. You can get some sweet tips, especially at a college
true.
bar.
It's
It's going to
true.
pop off. I would encourage you walk down there, get a little part-time job. Maybe you're the host. Maybe you're the door guy. Maybe you become a bar back into bartender. You have a great time.
Surly Wench, it's me, Greg Miller from Kind of Funny. How are you? We're doing a live Q&A right now, YouTube, Twitch. You know who we are. It's no big deal. But Ignacio, one of our fans, is there now. He wants us to come do a meet and greet or some kind of presentation. So we were wondering if you wanted to fly us to Arizona from San Francisco to do a meet and greet at your bar. And we can do like a stage show, me and Mike, and we
Yep.
can do whatever.
Bear down. Let's go.
There you go. All right, let us know. We're sending that Instagram DMs. That'll work.
Yeah,
Perfect.
Send it right
For
to
a
him.
second, Mike, I thought you were going to recommend that Ignacio become a cooler.
Oh,
Like
yeah,
at Roadhouse.
Well, I mean,
Oh,
when I said
that's
door
a-
guy, yeah, that's close enough.
I
It's
thought
right.
you
I
were
feel
like,
like there
you
are
should
levels to get to being a
but like
cooler.
Bar back,
Ignacio,
door
you
guy,
should become
cooler.
a bar back. Go for it. Little
Mike,
part-time job.
Bad news. I cannot take any more work since I'm here with an F1 visa.
Oh, right.
That would
That's
be
how they
really
get you.
That's
so
how they
annoying.
get us.
Yeah.
That's right.
So, I mean, you could,
you ask them
you'd
to
have
pay
to
you
work
in
under
beer?
the table.
So can you guys hear the thunderstorm that's going on right now?
No.
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 Here? Okay, this is a crazy thunderstorm coming in.
Yeah, welcome
I
to
I love
Tucson.
that desert weather.
Oh, yeah. Those
Oh, yeah.
flash flood. You got to be careful in Tucson. They got flash flood warnings. People get stuck and they die.
You're going to be okay,
Downer.
Ignacio. You're not going to get flooded. Don't worry.
Tough.
Oh.
Just letting everyone know.
Well, I know how to swim, so
Just get out of your car. Make sure you get it. Because a lot of people, when there's like roads that go down, they go, I can get out of the water. And then they never get out of their car. And then they drown in their car. And like,
Just leave
I
that
don't
car.
have a car, so
Okay,
I
well.
won't have to worry about that.
hey, listen, I'm just telling the stories that I heard when I was a kid, going to Tucson to visit my aunt and uncle.
Love that.
Perfect. Thanks, Ignacio. We'll look forward to hearing your.
Before
You
I
gotta-
go,
You got to keep it going.
yeah, a couple of suggestions. Mike, I need you to watch Naruto. Do it. You're gonna love it. Do it quickly.
He got me.
And for the rest of you guys, watch a movie called I Want to Eat Your Pancreas. You're gonna love it. You're gonna cry, and
Okay.
you are gonna thank me. You know, Nick. I
I
have
want to
good
eat your
suggestions. So,
pancreas. Okay.
yep. I know it sounds weird, but you're gonna love it.
Okay. Thank you for the rec. Enjoy your college career.
Thank you.
Adios. Bye.
Bye.
I can't wait to hear from him next month.
Yeah.
Mike, I'm working at the Surly Wench, having the greatest time of my life.
He's like, I quit
Surly
college.
Wench
I'm at the Shirley
On
Wench.
September
I can't say
15th is
Shirley.
having a clothing swap where I think you swap clothes with people there and they got fun drinks.
Like a
Oh,
fun
shit.
like bar night
don't
or
want
like
that.
a you
That's a
bring the
party.
stuff you
no,
don't
like
wanna-
a fun bar night. Like
Okay.
you're
I
gonna
hate
switching
that.
clothes with people.
We used
or
to
something.
do
hate that.
maybe it was like a Rubik's Cube party like that at a bar where you would come wearing all different colors. You were trying to leave all wearing the same color.
Oh.
But
Oh,
I don't
shit.
A Turatron gets
I
it.
think that's what
This
it was.
is good.
Be nice.
Mr. Hawks, what's up?
Howdy, friends.
Hi.
Hello.
What's going on?
Howdy, howdy. Hope y'all can hear me.
can.
I've got a little bit of bad news
Oh.
at the start
no.
here. Our good friend Cozy Bear will not be able to join us today for
Oh.
the game
Tragic.
segment.
Hi, Cozy Bear.
Did he give you the questions?
No, better actually. So Cozy Bear was a guest on my podcast, Story Motors podcast, this
Nice.
week, and he brought a game that was more visual that he couldn't really do on the Collins. So that went up this week, and yeah, really fun time.
Cool.
Very cool.
That's from a question. I've been trying to think of something music related for a while, but
Ooh.
all I can think of right now
Gershwin.
is pro wrestling because I went to see GCW here in Salt Lake on Sunday.
Nice. How was the show?
Yep. Oh, dude, it was incredible.
Yeah.
Actually, I brought a couple of. I had a surplus of doors from my house when we did a remodel, so I
Yeah.
brought those to the show and they used them as tables.
That's amazing. That's awesome.
Yeah, it was
That's
really nice
incredible.
to get rid of those
That
things out of my
is
fucking house.
Independent wrestling.
That's
man.
a
Wait, what's
Kevin
the J
ass
stand
comment.
GCW.
GCW. What's
Game
the G?
Changer Wrestling.
Of course.
That's a cool
Great
name.
name.
Of course.
Yeah,
Great
that's
name.
a cool
Yeah,
name.
that was a good
Yeah.
name.
Yeah, the show was incredible. And I was front row. The only problem was there was a, I'm assuming a new camera kid who was just standing up right in front of me the whole time
Yeah, that's
instead
good.
of
That's what
like,
you
you
want.
know,
That's when you
trying to
karate
hide
chop.
out of the way.
Yeah, it's wrestling. That's when you grab
Love
a
when
hold
that
of him.
happens.
Just
Ah, you punk ass.
Irish whip him into the
Yep,
staircase.
Yep.
Thought about it. I thought about it, Mike. Didn't want to get arrested.
Yeah,
It
good
was
call,
a
good
ladies'
call.
home. So
Fair enough.
anyway, yeah. So music, wrestling, easy. What would be your theme song?
What
In
a great
wrestling.
question.
Nick, if you don't have an answer, if you want to answer for your good friend Johnny Ace,
Oh.
Oh, the Ace Man cometh.
I'm assuming it's Billy Ocean, but
Maybe
No
for,
more
for
Love
John,
on the Run?
for John L. Ace Esquire. I don't know what my wrestling music would be,
Yeah.
but anytime we do walk-up music for
Yeah.
stand-up comedy, I choose NSYNC.
Oh, interesting.
Okay,
It's
that's
gonna
good.
be me. Yeah.
Man, it's crazy that my mind goes immediately to CM Punk because he's got.
Look into my eyes. What do you see?
God,
Cult of
Is
personality.
most maybe not. Is most wrestling walk-up music licensed or original?
Well, you've done a thing
A
there
little
where
half.
you're wavering. If we're just talking about WWE, most of the time they make up their own. They make
Okay.
up their own
They don't
stuff.
wanna
So they
deal
don't
with
have to pay
rights.
licensing rights.
Yeah.
Yeah. In the newer regimes and more modern, they switch that up a bit more, but most of the time.
at the GCW show, everybody just had. I'm using air quotes licensed music
Mhm.
Yeah.
because they don't actually play it into like the pay-per-view
They just
audio.
play it for
Yeah,
the-
It's just in,
in
the,
the room,
stadium,
yeah.
so or like
Yeah,
in the
that's cool.
area. So they're just like, oh well, I mean, we don't have to get cleared for it because we're not broadcasting,
Broadcasting
it. It just
it,
happens
yeah.
to be here.
Unlike old ACW, who just didn't care.
Just got
Exactly.
sued by Creed and Nickelback over and
No,
over again.
fucking Metallica.
Oh yeah. Oh, that's a hard one. They got a lot of money.
Yeah.
They like suing
You know,
people.
back in my backyard wrestling career, I did Real American. Of course, this is before we knew how much Hulk Hogan sucked. And even now,
bummer.
maybe I'd like
What
to
a
take it
piece of
back. Maybe
shit.
I could take it back. You know, I could
Yeah.
bring it back. Then I switched over to Intergalactic Planetary shortly, but I went back to the
it's a
Real
good
American.
song.
Nowadays, if you were to say what to do, I'm drawn a bit to. I remember when Alana did Creator Clash.
Okay. Oh
And she
yeah.
had her entrance and all that stuff, and I was like, "What would I do if I
So
did
cool.
Creator Clash
Oh,
and I
the
wanted my own
theme.
entrance?"
You would dominate.
No, but my
You would
my
not.
entrance would be great because what I would do is do the Smallville song, Remy Zero, Somebody Save Me, but have Rosenbaum and Tom Welling and the
that's
cast
so
of Smallville
cool.
come out with me. Yeah.
That would be amazing.
That's great.
That would be amazing.
I want She Wolf by Shakira.
Okay.
Good.
That's all I got.
Man, I'm bummed because
Mike,
they're
which
going to do
chaperone song is going to be?
I was gonna just say I'm going hot to go. You know what I mean? I get everybody on their feet right away.
I'm bummed because they canceled. I think they canceled that Hogan project that was supposed to be Chris Hemsworth doing him,
Yeah.
the biopic.
Yeah.
That would have been fucking awesome. That would have been awesome.
I don't think Hemsworth wanted to say the N word on screen though.
Yeah,
so
yeah, problem. Yeah.
you know,
Yeah, I mean, I
Now I can hit a woman.
sympathize.
Now I can hit a woman in the head with a beer can and or a full beer, and then be very fucking not cool to Kamala Harris.
yeah.
Yeah.
they keep making epilogues to this movie that nobody would want to make.
Yeah, it'd be a tough one. Maybe we just do the part one, don't do part two and
all right,
three.
guys, thank you once
Mr.
again.
Hawks,
Story
what's
Motors
yours,
Podcast.
though?
Thank you, Mr. Oh yeah, what's
Goes
your
here.
song?
Mine.
Yeah.
So with mine, my favorite theme songs in wrestling are ones that kind of have something at the beginning, whether it's a sound or like a song intro, that you hear that and you're like, I know who this is, and you get pumped to hear the rest of it, like the glass breaking for
Yeah.
Stone Cold, or
Oh, yeah.
you know, the opening riff to Kevin Owens. So mine would be a song a licensed song by a band called Fight Star. The song is called Animal. Just opens up with like a nice little like drum beat and then just fucking explodes. So
That's what you gotta have.
I might change
yeah.
my mind to A Day to Remember song that has like a really dope opening too, but maybe not. Anyways, thank you.
Thank you.
Oh, Downfall of
Now
Us
I'm
All.
gonna now I'm gonna just be thinking
Yeah.
about this for the rest of my
Are you
evening.
stoked for Milepost Zero?
Oh my god, yes.
Okay.
Yes, I'm just waiting for that to
it's
come out.
gonna be
I've
sick.
actually been off of the game for a bit because I've been balls deep in Fallout London.
Okay.
Oh.
Yeah. Yeah, I got it to work on the Steam Deck. I'm a ton of time into it. But yeah, when Milepost Zero comes out,
You're
I'm going to
back,
be jumping
baby.
back
You're
into 76.
All right.
Yeah.
I'll look for you out there in the wasteland.
Tight.
Perfect.
Hell yeah.
Story
Bye,
Motors
Mr.
Podcast,
Hurts.
Cozy Bear. Love y'all.
Bye.
Bye.
Back. Shoot the Thrill by AC/DC. I mean, that's a
Yeah.
classic. Come
Good
on.
one. That's a good one.
Anything by AC/DC, Metallica, Foo Fighters. You know the top
The
three
usual.
classics.
Hi Gary,
Hey,
how are
guys.
you?
I'm doing good. How about you guys?
Good.
Welcome back. Welcome back, Greg.
Thank you.
And,
Happy to be here.
Love this kind of weekly, smaller happy hour. It's been fun.
Yeah, it's been
I've
super fun.
enjoying them.
Yeah.
Yeah. This is Gamer Math Gary, by the way. You might recognize my voice from the infamous "P.S. I Love You" episode. I put something in assets, Kevin. If you wanted to put that up real quick.
It is in assets. Now the real question is Kevin in control?
I'm here.
Wow.
Okay,
Got it.
I couldn't see you from the thing.
It's late in the day on a Friday. Sometimes we start losing people.
Last time, I just saw before Kevin run around the corner and in here to say thank you for something.
I can stall in the meantime.
Yeah, give me
just
2 more
wanted to
seconds.
like thank you guys. I called in last time asking if you guys were impressionable eaters, and we talked about that. And just wanted to like thank you guys for other impressionable things you guys influenced us with. Yeah, including heading to Portillo. So I got my Portillo hat on,
And your Diamond
my
Dog
shirt
shirt.
there.
Can we talk about how
And,
sick that t-shirt
and my
is?
Tums, I switched Tums. I used to eat the normal.
Those are the
fries.
chewables.
Yeah,
Those
he
are the
switched
chewy
into
ones.
you. He switched to be like
They're
you.
so good, right?
Heck yeah.
Our true influence.
I'm impressionable eater even in the pharmacy aisle. But yeah, I just wanted to say also, Mike, your recent stream, your games cast with Andy talking about streaming in 2024 with
yeah.
Tim, that was really cool.
Thanks,
It
homie.
got me wearing that shirt, the Metal Gear shirt, and playing through Metal Gear Solid again on stream.
Yes.
I'm definitely one of those guys who like spends a few hours on lights and then it's like midnight and I'm like,
Fuck.
Yeah.
So thank you guys for pushing forward in all kinds of ways. I wanted to say, I invite Ignacio if he's ever in Portillo, in Phoenix. Excuse me, I'll hit up Portillo's with him. I live in Phoenix.
Oh,
so,
hell yeah.
Oh, that's fun.
definitely down to do that. All right, my main thing I wanted to call in for was I wanted to ask how that stand-up show that you guys kind of did came about a few years back when you
Sure.
guys all tried stand-up.
Yeah.
I think Nick and I'm a kind of funny best friend starting in beginning of COVID, so I was kind of doing my history previous and I actually like visited the IGN offices in 2018, so I went back to like all my photos to see if you guys were in the background or something.
That's
or people
amazing.
were, other people. Yeah. So my question is like, how did that come back, that stand-up show? Because that was previous to when I was a best friend. And then lastly, my challenge to you guys, because I do a lot of improv, is like, I would love for you to maybe consider doing an improv show. If not all of you, like some of you, doing a workshop or something and taking a crack at that. Because I think you guys would be really awesome at it.
That's awesome. Thank you. The stand-up show came about because of RTX. That was I think we did it 2 years in a row. And what had happened was we all went there and they were like, hey, do you want to do, we were doing like live events at night and stuff like that. And they asked us, they approached me and Tim, because I was doing stand-up at the time, I just started, if we wanted to do a show. And Tim was like, it would be awesome if we just got everyone that was at RTX who wanted to do a stand-up set for their first time, like get them up on stage, do 3 minutes. And so James, Elise, we had like everyone basically got super nervous, and then we got a bunch of people to do it, and it ended up being a really, really fun event for me to host. And I'm pretty sure we did it 2 years in a row.
You did,
right?
yeah.
We did.
So that's how that came about. It was
And
just
you
like,
did one here in SF.
That was for waiting for the punchline.
that was for waiting for the punchline.
Got it.
Yeah, that's in the documentary that Tim will let me upload one of these days.
And that was like kind of everybody, almost every, I think except for like me and Cool Greg at the time.
Yeah, I mean, Tim did one, Kevin did one, you
Greg
did one, right? I think Gia did one.
Yeah.
It was fun. It's fun to challenge yourself and get out there and do it.
Greg made us think that you guys are having a baby.
Yeah.
And Jenna was choked in the audience.
Yeah, that was fun. That's how that came about.
Good comedy is just lying.
Yeah, that's all you gotta do. Knock it out the park.
Yeah, you are big in stand up. Is improv just a totally different muscle that's never been?
Yeah, improv
your list?
relies largely on a group chemistry,
Mm-hmm.
and it's a totally different skill. It's a totally different muscle to train. It's fun. I know some of the Achievement Hunter guys. I think
Alfredo and Michael.
Alfredo
right?
and Michael were doing improv for a
Trevor.
while. But it's it's like everything else. The more you dedicate to it, the more you get out of it. But we don't have a ton of great improv up here. I think we have like BATS. I forget what that stands for. But if you were in LA, you have all of them that you want.
All the ones
Upright. You have
we used to go to
UCB.
with,
You have Groundlings. Yeah, you have
Miss Movies.
all that stuff. And that. So if you're in LA, that's the place to do that. You could also
Mm-hmm.
do stand up in LA. It's great too.
I feel like a lot of the vibes is improv
100%.
in terms of playing off of each other. But
Yeah,
doing something
Mike,
a
give
little
me
bit
a
more
profession.
structured.
Bartending.
Hey everybody, it's me, Greg Miller. I'm a bartender. Go to patreon.com/kindoffunny and buy a drink. Yeah, see, done. That's improv.
Yes,
You're
and
great, man. Be a table. Be a table.
I'm snapping.
Thank you.
Well, yeah, I just mentioned it because I think it'd be fun to watch you guys try things. And I just wanted to throw support to try role playing again. That was I definitely popped when I heard that on the Kind of Funny show this week. So it'd be great to see a Alien Blade Runner crossover. That
That'd be
we've always
fun.
wanted to
Oh,
see.
yeah.
You guys,
Did you listen to the
take a
podcast?
crack at it.
Yeah, we just started talking about maybe doing another D&D, just
Yeah.
brainstorming some fun ideas on it, and it was a blast.
There's a Ghostbusters one.
Is there?
Who are you gonna call?
It won't be as complicated as that time you and me tried to play Ghostbusters board game.
I
at
mean,
the
to
end
be
of a
fair, yeah, I was
24-hour
gonna say it was
stream.
a 24-hour stream, and
There
it
were
was, we
so
were
many
dying.
pieces. I
Yeah.
just remember you guys kept pulling things out of the box.
I just kept saying, I don't wanna, I don't wanna do this anymore.
I love it.
All right, thanks, guys.
Thank
Thank
you.
you.
Thank
Try
you.
the beef sandwich next time.
Please do.
Dude,
It was
the
too
Italian
good.
beef is good.
Come on.
Hell
Yeah.
Get the French fries with the nacho
I wish I
cheese.
could go for that.
Bye.
Aaron says Greg Miller, greatest improver of all time. That's right.
Always on his toes.
Improv, dude,
Cameron-
improv's hard.
Cameron Kenny says, now do an astronaut. What's up, everybody? It's me, Greg Miller, in space. Go to patreon.com.
It's crazy. What's so great about that is if you look back through all the great astronauts of history, like Neil Armstrong, they cut the part out when he said, "What's up, everybody? I'm Neil Armstrong. One small step for man."
That's
One
the part
huge
that
step
got
for
cut out
mankind.
when they were transmitting the signal.
Yeah,
you know?
it's tough. It
Yeah.
breaks out.
The 5-star man, what's up?
Hey, what's going on, guys?
Not much. Happy
I,
hour.
Big
Uh,
chillin'.
It's the happy hour. Cool. I put the link to the Reddit post for Joey for the Jimmy Lee.
Oh, perfect. Thank
appearance.
you.
That's in the
I see
the
it.
post there. My question is, my friend and I were talking about this past weekend. Is there a piece of advice looking back that you're glad you didn't take, or a time that someone gave you a piece of advice and you decided to trust your gut and it ended up paying off for you?
I got a good one.
Oh.
Right
to
before
me.
I took the job at IGN back in 2004, I was working for a very nice couple who had purchased the wedding photography and videography studio that I was working at. They were lovely, but I was like their best guy. I was their best like videographer, and he was like, I told him, I was like, hey, I'm gonna quit. I'm moving up to San Francisco. I'm gonna go, be in a part of this massive media company. And he was like, that's great, but he's like, there's nothing quite like running your own company. And he's like, you should really be building investing in yourself right now and growing that, because later down the line, like that, you might want that thing. And I was like, you're paying me like $50 an edit. I can't ask my mom to take me to Costco anymore.
Yeah.
And so I took the job at IGN, and I remember thinking like maybe 2-3 years in, as we all started, we were having a blast back then, and I was living with all the guys and all that stuff, and like actually had healthcare. That was pretty cool. I remember thinking, God, I'm so glad I didn't take his recommendation. And then when we left IGN to form Kind of Funny, I remembered, I was like, and we had those good days where it was like, holy shit, this might actually work, and that excitement of being like,
Yeah.
holy shit, we can actually like grow something. I remember thinking back and being like, he was wrong, but he was also right.
Yeah.
It was interesting.
Wrong timing.
Yeah, wrong timing. I had to go invest. I couldn't learn the skills that I needed to learn to run a business there. I needed to work for a big corporation and then take those skills and then have Tim and Greg do that work.
Turns out that guy though, Martin Scorsese. You could have, you would have hung out with him a little bit longer. You would have pivoted from weddings to making movies.
To making The Departed.
Yeah,
Mhm.
yeah.
Your favorite
He would
movie
have
of all
let you
time.
work on The Departed, and it would have been a great movie.
You could have stopped bumping into everything.
Yeah. Be
Why
the
are you
change
so
you want to
sweaty?
see in the world, Nick.
I would have been like, why is Mark Wahlberg in this movie? We don't need him in this movie.
Too much.
Anything off the top of your head?
Yeah, I mean, I think pretty much every Gregism you see, someone has tried to stop me from doing at some point, right? I talk too fast. I remember that was always a criticism at IGN for me doing things, mainly Brendan. Just you talk too fast in these video reviews. You know what I mean?
Man.
Also too loud. You know what I mean? Like,
you
I
haven't
always
stopped that yet.
Well, that's the
No.
thing. Well, this is advice we didn't take, right?
Oh,
Like
yeah,
that was
fair.
the thing of like, I think so many people tried to do this to make it me feel or sound or look like somebody else, and this just wasn't what it was.
Yeah.
I'd rather go out and fail as me than succeed as somebody who wasn't me. Michael,
That's a
you
good
got
line. I know. I just don't listen to Andy still, so it's all good. You know what I mean?
I feel
Yeah.
like most people try to talk you out of his haircut today.
Shit. When you looked at me, you're like, you got the haircut like we just woke up from a sleepover. It's like, yep, that's it.
Man, you look sweaty. You
Roger-
look like you
I-
fell
you
asleep
know,
and
like-
sweat through it.
I wanted to try something different.
When
What
I
did we
came,
learn?
When I came in today, I was like, "Oh, Mike's got bangs," and he was like, "Literally every person that's walked in today has commented on Mike's hair." I was like, "Mm."
It's so
"But
funny.
you keep being you."
Thank you.
We're not trying to stop you, Mike. We love
Gotta
you.
try
Yeah.
it.
I'll
Gotta
tell you
try it.
what, man. I get a new pair of shoes or something in this office. I get anxiety.
Oh,
I'm like,
you
when's it
know,
I'll never forget I'll never forget when I walked into those
Can't
Red
imagine
Wing
who
boots.
started that.
Oh, everyone. We're all terrible.
And then the
to each
best
other.
is now I wear
We're
Timberlands
just
and I love
garbage
them.
human beings to each other.
Oh my gosh. Advice that I didn't take. Nothing's really sticking out on that one. Nothing.
All right. Well,
Mike's
thanks for
advice that he's glad he didn't take was put on your glasses.
Yeah.
He's so glad he didn't wear
Yeah.
glasses.
Yep. And guess what? The TVs are closer now.
you won.
Yeah, exactly. Who won? I won.
You made Kevin bend the knee.
Thanks, the 5-star man.
Thanks, guys. Have a good
Thank you.
weekend.
Bye. Okay. We have DC Hard Rocker coming in, and then we have two more.
DC hard.
Hey guys.
What's up?
Homie.
Hey. Well, this is going to be a quick one because it's more a suggestion rather than a question. And also stems surprisingly about the whole D&D thing coming from the podcast on Monday. It's mostly for Nick, but in the podcast, Blessing had mentioned to you about Dropout.
Yes.
And like one thing that
The
didn't
streaming
really go
service.
into and
Oh, right.
Yeah,
Dropout.
like-
Sorry.
yeah. Like I think I mentioned it, a couple other people mentioned it in chat, but one of the things they do is live action, like sort of tabletop RPG. And they tend to do seasons of it, and the current season that they're almost finished, it's like a 10 episode season, is one I think you should at least give the first episode a try.
Okay.
Because it's based entirely on like tropes from action movies like Die Hard,
I love that.
James Bond,
I love
Fast
that.
and Furious. And this season, it's called Never Stop Blowing Up. The
Oh, I have
first
seen this.
episode, yeah, the first episode is, I think, about an hour and 40 minutes. It's free on YouTube if you don't want to subscribe.
Never stop blowing.
And it'll
up.
give you like a breakdown. Iffy's on it.
Okay. I'm gonna
Izzy
cue that up right now.
Roland,
Actually.
Who else is on it?
You got it,
Jacob.
It's
Alex.
it's
Like there's quite a few.
that's awesome. Thank you for that,
But-
Rec. I definitely want to do more of it. I do wonder, like,
Even this intro is
Yeah, that's
like
pretty
so
frickin'
retro.
rad. That's
like
pretty
movie
cool.
studio intro is dope.
Yeah, this entire season has basically been Brennan's DM just
Oh.
saying yes, and it doesn't matter how ridiculous like the suggestions that the players come up with. He just runs with it this season. He does
man.
not care. The entire thing is just insane. It's a fever dream.
that's amazing.
This
Yeah, I
intro
like-
is dope.
I like how they have like the old school sort of Orion logo.
Mm-hmm.
That's pretty cool.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
So they go
That-
for like
yeah,
two.
so
How
I-
long is each episode that they do? That's my question. Is like, this is like 2 hours.
Usually max is about 2 hours.
Okay, I gotta check this out. I'll skim through it a little bit. I don't have the attention
Like
span
it's
for
worth.
2
I
hours.
think there's one episode this season might be a little bit longer than 2 hours, but it's usually 2 hours or sub 2 hours. But at least that season is worth watching.
Okay.
I think it'd really be up your like alleyway. Maybe, yeah, everybody check it out. It's fantastic. But yeah, I just wanted to make sure that you knew about that. It was core to my very being that you were aware of this.
Perfect.
So,
Nick
Thank
needs
you.
to know.
I love that a bunch of questions today have been about us doing another D&D game. This is inspiring to me. If only Tim were in earshot. I told him I
I'll
wanted to
tell
do-
him it's been deafening.
Can you tell him that, please?
Sure.
Overwhelm. I want you to use the term overwhelming.
Okay.
Amount of people
You got it.
came out in support of this team.
Mhm.
Love it. I'm into it. I'll got you.
Perfect.
but yeah, I'll go then and let somebody else get a chance here. So I hope you guys all have a great weekend and I'll catch you up again.
Thank you,
Thank
bro.
you,
for that,
Hard
Rack.
Rocker.
Good name.
He
We
rocks.
all have good names.
You're
And
going
he
to
does
DC.
rock. Can you
are
believe it?
going to
Storm in the
DC.
Capitol.
Monday night, be there.
He's not
Benny,
kidding.
what's up?
Great.
Hey guys, Benny Gerkman here, medium time listener, first time caller.
Right on.
Oh,
appreciate
Nice.
that.
Be Girk.
I like the honesty.
I just want to say that I'm really sorry that horrible Twitch hack happened to you guys, and I'm really glad it was so quickly resolved. But I do have a few questions for Greg Miller here, starting with
What's your
number
mother's
one.
maiden
What was your
name?
mother's maiden name?
Got him.
But no. So my question for you guys is, if you were doing essentially this same exact job, like live talk shows every day, talking about one show talking about the news, one show talking about whatever you want, but you had to do it in a different industry, so it couldn't be video games, but it was still like in format the exact same. What industry would you do it in?
No, man, I have the easy one. Just ESPN Sports.
Ah,
Boom.
sure.
Yeah, I would.
sure.
That's boring, Mike. I'm gonna be honest.
I know it's so boring,
guy.
but so easy.
Yeah, if I'm assuming we have the same amount of content to talk about, which
Yeah.
is what then I would do comics. Like if we could have the same
Oh.
audience
That's fun.
doing comics, I mean, there's enough comics to review like that all the time. News is a different thing, but you bring in comic movies. You'd be
I
all
like
set.
that.
Mm-hmm.
I'm
Yeah.
changing mine. Okay, I'll give you a better one.
Porn.
Mine would be winter action sports because then I'd get to travel the globe skiing and snowboarding all over the globe, talking about the biggest hits, the nastiest nar. It'd be pretty sick.
Endless winter.
Don't forget about the Surly Wench. We're going to travel the world.
I'm
That's
chasing the
nuts, no.
endless winter.
I mean, if it's easy for me, I would do TV and film and streaming services. I would talk about movies all day. I love talking about old, stupid movies. I would probably specialize in like 80s and 90s action movies.
Yeah, I'm with Nick.
How would you make if you were talking about old movies, how would you
Hey, you
make
put
that
us
a
into this
daily
fantasy
thing?
land.
What
You
would
put
you-
us into this fucking
I
fantasy.
think it's very, very easy.
Part of the
I think
fantasy
it's
is that
very
people
easy.
really care about 80s and 90s action movies.
Well, that's the thing is, I mean, obviously, like there are people out there that talk, they review movies and talk about that stuff on the daily as well. But I think you just frame it in a very simple way. This is just off the top of my head, Joy.
Off
Off the top of my head.
Get off
Off the
the
top.
top.
Right off. Here's the top. It's right off the top there. You have to just have a genre specifically, like in this, again, I'm just making this up as we go. Like if we just did like, I don't know, old 80s, 90s, early 2000s, like disaster movies, right?
Oh, yeah,
And we
yeah.
called it like a disaster cast. And we just did that like once a week. That was Fridays was a disaster, right?
Yeah.
And then we just talked about that stuff. And then
And sometimes we also talk about movies that are a disaster, and sometimes they overlap.
exactly. And then you do genres of like directors and you go off in that direction. There's any which way you can skin it. That's the fun about what we do is like the creativity is up to us. If you know, everyone's talked about Die Hard to the 10th degree, but it's like, can you find another fun angle on that? Or can you just rehash the same IMDb trivia that every YouTuber rehashes? And I watch all of them.
Yeah.
Even though I know it's like confirmation bias. I'm like, yeah, I knew that.
You knew that.
Yeah, I knew that too.
I in a different life, and this is just me. This is not Kind of Funny as a whole, but I would be a theme park influencer.
Yeah, that's
Fucking get me my annual pass back. I'd be in the parks every day doing those stupid little pin blind box unboxings where I'd spend way too
Don't
much
you
money.
start, Joey. Yeah.
We'd taste testing all the new foods, checking out all the new characters, looking at what all the new merch is.
You
Feels
see
pretty
like
good.
pin stations
That one would-
now? So cool.
Yeah, that one would really work because you get. I watch like every week. There's an update video. They fly a drone over Universal Epic, and they like
To see
talk
the
about
progress.
what's being built.
Yep.
Yeah, and it like on paper sounds like the most boring thing I've ever watched, but
Mm-hmm.
it is gripping to see like, oh my god, they put up a new crane over there. Isn't that so cool?
very
Me and my
exciting.
fiance watch. I'm like pointing at the screen, like, look, there's new fences, new fences.
I would give you all of the day by day updates on Hollywood Horror Nights, maze building, all the really things that people really want to see. So.
Ghostbusters stuff there.
I saw today they announced the Ghostbusters Frozen Chill
I saw
snack
that,
thing.
yeah.
Are you gonna go?
Is it only Orlando or is it also
No, they have
LA?
it in Hollywood too.
Yeah,
We should
as
go.
soon as it got announced, I poked Ghost Core about it. So hopefully I can get in for an influencer night or whatever.
I need you to take Mike and Andy and take them
Yes.
through all the mazes and give them a little cam just so we see them all screaming.
Yeah, 100. That would be.
That's some of my dream content
Yeah.
to make.
If we could wave the wand, it would be take Kind of Funny down to Universal Horror Nights, and we film us walking through the mazes and just laugh.
Maybe
Yeah.
the Surly
Because
Lunch will
it'd be
pay for that
great.
too.
Come on.
You want to send them another video?
We got an alternate plan for you.
Yeah, new idea. New idea.
We don't go to Arizona. We go to LA.
Thanks, Benny.
Oh yeah, thank you. Hey Greg, answer your emails.
Oh.
Do I owe you an email?
Yeah, you do.
What's your
It's
name?
okay though. I don't
Benny.
feel. I'm not so heartbroken.
What was it about?
Benny Girkman.
Benny Girkman.
Documentary.
He's gonna look it
for
up
a lot
now.
of personal information so we can hack this again.
Click this link and tell me all this stuff.
Perfect. Thanks, Benny.
Thanks, homie.
Thank you.
Thanks, Benny.
Last one to close out the night. One, BJ Bernardo.
Hey!
Who maybe is
You
not.
son of a bitch.
Okay. His Discord icon went to sleep, but then he picked it up on his phone. You're here.
Hey, hi.
What up?
So I got 4 questions. I'll try to make them quick as I can because I know I'm last.
Okay.
The first quick question: Greg, are you coming to Vancouver for Survivor Series?
No.
Oh, tragic.
At least not now. The WWE is infamous for booking me like a week out. So, but I have not had any conversations about that.
Okay, that's cool. That's
Maybe
my
the
hometown,
Surly
so I
Lunch.
was like, oh, that was very excited. Joey,
Yes.
question for you.
Mm-hmm.
I'm looking for a cozy game, but I can't seem to find any. Got any suggestions?
Fields of Mystria has so many of us at the office right now just in a trance. I'm playing, Roger's playing, Andy's playing. Andy doesn't really play these kinds of games, I feel like, very often. Mike's playing. It's Stardew Valley, but with like, if they had all of the quality of life mods just baked in already, plus you get some fun magic things. It's very exciting. I love it.
Okay, so because I was going to try Stardew Valley, but I'll try that.
I
Fields of
would,
Mysteria
if you've
instead.
never played Stardew, I would actually start with Fields of Mystery because there's a lot of just systems that I think have aged since Stardew's been out for a while now, and this addresses all of the
that's what I
issues.
was thinking.
Fishing is so much easier in Fields of Mystria. It tells you if you have an item in your inventory that hasn't been given to the museum yet. All of these little things that are things that we've been wanting in Stardew Valley, but Concerned Ape is only one human being, you know?
You looking for that super chat that just came through?
Fields of Mystria.
Can you
Got it.
help me?
Yeah.
Mhm.
That
do it
streaming
mobile.
ain't easy out
Yes.
there with the super chance.
So Nick,
Yes.
now that Mike has forced you to play video games pretty much, 3 times a week,
Yeah, it's fun.
do you find yourself at home playing more, like playing different video games, not just Warzone? I know you're the greatest at Warzone.
Thank you
That's
for
okay.
and thank you for saying that. Thank you for finally admitting it, because I know you and I have been going back and forth on that for years. But it takes a big man to admit when he's wrong, and thank you for that.
I'm wrong.
I don't.
I acknowledge you.
I don't often. I've been doing a lot of shows at night, so I have not been able to really kind of sit down and play anything. Honestly, the only thing that I've played is occasionally I'll jump on with Mike for some Warzone. But no, I think I'm fortunate that Mike leans on me a lot to get in the room and have some fun. So I get to play the games that I want. Every once in a while, I get to push for like a Spectre Defies or something like that. Like, hey, let's go play a game that I like, and he's like, no, let's play Concord instead. But no, I don't play too much.
I'm really lucky with Nick. I am blessed to have Nick on my side here on the streaming efforts here on the team. We do a lot, and to have Nick on the side of me to play these games, to step out of his comfort zone, try different games, and give me his all is really the best. And Nick also, at night, sometimes we don't just play Warzone. We've tried some other dumb games before, and then we go back to Warzone.
Yeah, go
back to Warzone.
Kochloff in the chat says Alien Isolation, Nick. I told him, Mike's got it on his calendar that at some point,
For
maybe in October, we're going to do a Nick, maybe longer stream. I'm going to try to play start to finish Alien Isolation.
So
That'd
here's
be
the
fun.
real pitch for that, Kotzlot, just so you know, is I still haven't seen Alien 1 or 2. So we will watch those movies, and then we will play the game to rebuild the hype for Alien.
Oh,
because
yeah.
we
I
just
think
got
we should
off of
do-
Romulus, and we would have done it
Here's
after
what.
that.
Let me pitch you this idea, Mike.
Pitch
Let me
it.
pitch you this
Let's
idea.
pitch.
We do a marathon stream where we start with Alien, then we watch Aliens, and then I start playing the game somewhere in there if we make it.
Okay.
How does that sound?
Okay, I like
'Cause
that
it's all-
idea.
it all kind
How
of
good
plays
was
together.
Romulus?
I like that. I like
How
that.
good was Romulus?
It's funny. I really liked Romulus, and I've watched a lot of reviews from people that I respect, and they did not like that movie.
It seems kind of divisive.
It is
It seems
wild.
like everybody I saw loved it. I can't wait to see it.
I watched a Red Letter Media review, and they fucking hated it, and James didn't like it very much either.
Yeah.
Which is weird. They had some very they said there's lots of great stuff in it. Obviously, the production design is amazing, but I was just blown away by how a lot of people felt that it was just treading on too much of well-worn territory, and it was too much of a remake, and what people called it sort of like an elevated fan film, which I thought was kind of a strong word, because I was like, I think it does enough differently. Well, the problem is, like, there hasn't been an alien movie like this in a really long time, so it's sort of a reboot, kind of. It's sort of like, I would say, a reinvigoration of the series. There are a lot of things in it, like Easter egg wise, and I'm like, you didn't need to put that in there. Like, there's a couple lines, there's a couple of things that just pop out to you where you're like, we could have not had that element. But overall, me and Mike and Roger and Leanza enjoyed the heck out of that movie.
We had a great time.
It was so fun.
Yeah.
I liked how like it harkened back to like the aliens and like Alien, and like I loved at the beginning of the film, even the font and the way that it was like showing the character, like the name of the like that spoke like very 1980s, and I was like, oh, this is cool.
Yeah,
it's really setting the tone.
It's a fine line for nostalgia, Easter eggs, and kind of dipping over into, hey, we're just sort of aping stuff from the other series. And they did take a lot from the other series. Like, it's undeniable. They borrowed from Aliens, and actually Alien Resurrection as well. There's a lot of stuff going on in there, but ultimately for me, I just disliked Prometheus and Covenant so much. They just did not work on any emotional level for me, and they weren't as creative as I wanted them to be. And that first couple shots of Romulus, where you see the town, you see the mining community, you see the spaceship and all that stuff, I'm like, this just looks cool. This looks like just something I want to look at for 2 hours, and I wasn't wrong.
Interesting.
It's fun.
Okay,
it's definitely,
so final question. Mike?
Yeah, sorry. Continue. I can talk about Alien all day.
Okay.
Can I
Yeah,
be
I
rude
know.
real quick? Hold on.
Sure.
I gotta run and get Benny in the pool because it's
Yeah.
swim class. There was one here insulting.
Dang, that's awesome.
Two this things you flagged.
Oh yeah. 2 super chats,
Mm-hmm.
both from Stefan Stryker saying, "Thanks for entertaining my way of participation in the fundraising. Enjoy watching Mizzou play the Deaf and the Blind this weekend. Go Dogs." I don't know what
damn.
that means.
That's great.
Don't worry about it. And what was the other one?
Okay, and then the other one was D&D, please. Mizzou sucks. Go Dogs.
That streaking
Oh,
ain't easy.
so that's
Come
all-
on, streaking.
It's a tough one.
Streaking ain't easy.
There we
It's
go.
tough. It's hard being surrounded by so many honest, correct people.
Yeah. Wow. I mean,
It's
the
tough, but
Georgia
it makes
Bulldogs.
you better when you submit.
I'm
to
one
it.
of them.
Shout out.
It makes you better. It makes you
Shout out.
better.
Bye, Greg.
Okay, so this is just for Mike, so Greg
Okay.
can go.
Thanks,
Greg is
homie.
gone.
Mike, I just want to know what's your greatest sporting moment, and I mean like
Ooh.
you were doing it, you were the athlete.
Yeah, Mike
Oh,
was-
man.
Yeah, let
Mike
me
was
take you
it.
back to sophomore year of high school. We were playing Mullen Academy. Mullen Academy was the few schools back in the day out in Colorado that could recruit kids from all over the country to come play sports for them
Oh,
as a
interesting.
larger academy, unlike normal public high schools. And we were going to Mullen, who was very well known for having top tier athletes. And that sophomore year, it was me and the boys playing Mullen at Mullen. And I remember halftime, we had 2 incredible coaches. Coach Nick, who was a young kid fresh out of Washington State University, and Coach J.B. Hall Sr. And both of them were ripping us a brand new asshole during halftime. I mean, screaming at us about how bad we were playing and we needed to pick it up, right? And we were outclassed by this team. Don't get me wrong. They
Feels
were
a
way
little unfair to put you
Yes.
up against them.
They were way better than us, right? And so at halftime, I'll never forget, I was reaching for a Gatorade, and Coach J.B. Hall Sr. was screaming so loud that he closed the cooler and almost took off my entire hand and fingers during that game. But I took it in stride. There we were, final minute of the game. It was 64-66, and
That's a
we tied up the
high-scoring
game.
game.
Yeah, both teams were running. Not much defense there. And as we came down, Mullen tied it at 66 apiece with about 30 seconds. So we tried to slow down the offense, and the ball came to me. And I'll never forget, I was fouled with about 3 seconds left, and I went to the line. And a large kid, probably about 6'6", walked up to me and goes, "Just so you know, white boy, if you miss this free throw, I'm going to take the ball down and we're going to win this game." And I looked at him, about to pee my pants, and I smiled and nodded. I said, "Yep, let's see." And I made both of those free throws in his face, and we won 68-66
fucking love that.
at Mullen High School.
Dang.
And that's a
Mike
moment
is
I'll
in.
never forget. That was it. He
That's
looked right
great.
at me.
Shooters got to shoot.
You just gotta fucking shoot, Mike.
Great question. Thank you for that. A lot of fun moments that I'll never forget. Getting to play varsity basketball as a freshman, going out there. I still have the photo of me checking into the game. The beautiful, incredible stadium we had that was called the Pit. It was super cool. Still to this day, right? I play co-ed sports with Roger and the team that I still share
Sometimes.
moments on. I broke my elbow playing basketball up in Tahoe and never got that repaired or fixed, but I live on.
Yeah, I don't think you ever got your leg checked out either. Huh?
Yeah, I'll be
That was
fine. I'll be
rough.
fine. So yeah, yeah, it's doing great. And so I'm very excited now as I watch. There's this
We're
one
such
kid on
assholes here.
TikTok that I can't stop watching. He calls himself the 16-year-old prodigy coach, and it's this young high school kid, and he's coaching kids like Ben's age in flag football, and he makes some of the best edits, and like he's encouraging the kids. He makes fun of the kids for missing, and it's like, I can't wait to be that guy
That's
very,
amazing.
very soon.
Are
It's
you
gonna be
kidding me,
great.
man? Are you kidding me? You're gonna be the coolest uncles to Ben
so
ever.
much
Oh my
fun,
gosh.
man.
I love it.
Come on.
Thanks,
Go.
BJ Bernardo.
Thanks for the great question,
Thank
BJ.
you.
Freaking
Thank
love you,
you.
bro.
Roger, what do you have for us?
Yeah, really quick. I wanted to show off something that our friends over at Nor, the game, sent over.
Can
from
you say it again for me?
Nor.
Nor.
That's the way that
Nor.
Blessing told me to do it. Was the way that Australians say no.
Nor.
Yeah.
Life
Like so many more syllables.
Life Raft treats. Life Raft treats who make. I know. I'm in the middle of my fucking sentence. I'm in the middle of
Let
my
it
fucking
talk.
sentence.
The question.
Life Raft
It's the bangs.
treats.
I don't like bangs, Mike.
Bangs Mike is uptight.
Life Raft treats the guys who make the fried chicken ice cream.
Oh, yeah.
Sent over this awesome ramen. Ooh, fuck. Ramen ice cream.
Oh, it's
Can't remember
great.
shit. Yeah, I
That's
don't want to
good.
knock it all over. And it's really beautiful. I just wanted to show this off on stream really quick before we all dig into it.
Hell yeah, that
It's
looks
rock
good.
solid,
Up
but it's
to
really
the
good.
camera above you.
Oh, Skycam. We don't have an excuse for Skycam very often.
Right there. There you go.
It's so cute.
spots,
We've
right?
got some. We've got some ramen eggs, a little shrimp,
Yeah.
fish cake.
And it's like citrusy is
Ooh,
the
maybe
some
like
of the
some
shrimp.
I want to eat a
yuzu.
shrimp.
Oh, yeah.
I love that.
It's really hard.
Hell yeah,
You gotta suck on
Friday.
it.
Okay, I'll suck on it.
What do you think it's made out of? Ice cream?
Yeah. Oh, well, I don't know about that.
Oh,
Well, it's really hard.
yeah.
I don't know what that is. Not ice cream.
That's
Fondant,
not ice cream.
probably.
This is-
I don't like that.
It's definitely
It's probably-
tasteless.
It's probably fondant. It's
that's
probably
fine.
not meant to be eaten.
It's no, it is. It is.
It is.
Oh,
It's,
not, it's not fun.
citrusy. I thought I was like not
Yeah.
ready for that. You said it, but I wasn't ready for it.
It's really beautiful. All right.
Love
I'm gonna
it.
bring this out outside.
Thank you guys, everybody. We will see you on Monday.
It's
The
ice cream.
next and last happy hour of the month will be on Tuesday morning with Andy and Greg and Kevin. So that'll be a fun time. But we'll see you Monday for Kind of Funny Games Daily. Have a good weekend.
Thanks, everyone. Bye.